Welcome back to Shadows of the Past, where we shine our light on the shadows of yesteryear. And I want to begin with you thinking about the last discovery that you made. Now, was it a joyous occasion? Did it bring some new, life-changing acknowledgement into your life? Or was it so infinitesimal that it was barely worth remembering? Did it have an air of mystery? Was it something that chilled you to the bone? Maybe you just happened to be on a whaling ship, and maybe just while you're on that whaling ship, you found some frozen bodies? Well, in today's episode, we'll be exploring some seafarers that made their own petrifying discovery of a ship that was truly lost to time. And speaking of time, it looks like it's our cue. Let's delve into the shadows. This all begins with a whaling ship called the Herald that was sailing off the coast of Greenland on November 11, 1775. Within the frigid waters, the boat found another ship with tattered, weather-worn masts, and the captain had ordered the vessel to be boarded and searched. And the first thing that the crew deducted was that this ship was called the Octavius. And why? Because it was written on the side. Can't really miss that one. But things got far worse as they scrambled into the darkness of the cabins below. And inside, they found the bodies of the 28-person crew, all in a pantomime of the last moments that they had in life. Inside the captain's quarters, they found him still sitting, pen still in hand, writing in his long-since neglected logbook. And his body was not the only one in the cabin. They found the cadavers of a young woman and a boy wrapped in blankets, as if they had never woken up from their fateful sleep. And nearby was a sailor, still clasping at a tinderbox, still hoping for a small dream of relief. And the crew of the Herald, obviously terrified at this vision before them, decided to flee to the ship. They grabbed the captain's stiffened logbook before taking flight. The decrepit pages slipped from its binding, leaving only the first and last page to remain. And it was within these pages that the crew of the Herald learned the grisly fate of the glacial ship. The Octavius departed from London in 1761 to China in order to procure some goods. They did end up making their destination about a year later, but it was a trip back that ended up proving truly fatal. The captain noticed that the weather had been warmer and the seas more calm than normal this time of year. And if the Octavius could make the voyage through the Canadian Alaskan waters, it would severely cut down the return time. Now, no one had made it through the Northern Passage, but that was the unconscionable risk that the captain was willing to make. The Octavius would eventually not be able to push through the large blocks of ice. These would collect around the ship, forming a frozen prison. The last known coordinates written in the logbook sets it in northern Alaska, around an area known as Point Barrow. But the crew of the Herald had found the frostbitten ship near the coast of Greenland, and this means that it had actually made its trek through the Northern Passage, only posthumously. So, does that still count? Otherwise, this feat wouldn't be accomplished until 1906, and with good reason, because Mother Nature can be a real bitch. The veracity of the story is where the waters start getting truly murky, as there have been no records of this event ever happening. No primary sources have come to light, nor have any artifacts, and that's including the logbook. Strangely enough, there's a similar tale listed in a book from 1905. It sets almost the exact same terrifying scene of a glacial crew, complete with captain with pen in hand. The logbook even had the same recorded last date of November 11, 1775, but the name of this ship was the Gloriana, and there was no mention of it ever trying to cross the Northern Passage. And I'm going to go ahead and blur the lines even more by mentioning an unverified legend in a German article in 1841. And it mentions an English schooner named Jenny, who, as you guessed it, was found by a whaling ship, frozen within an ice barrier. And the crew, as you guessed, was preserved in the cold, exactly as they were in life. You know, you're pretty good at that guessing thing. So it just kind of makes me wonder what else you know. You know, what else you holding out on me? Yeah? Holding out that time that you know. But I digress. The schooner was located in Drake's Passage, and it was in the year 1823. So we have 3 stories of what sounds like the same ship, but wildly differing details on the location and name. So this really makes you wonder if at some point a whaling ship truly did find this spine-chilling discovery, or if this might be an inventive story with some poetic plagiarism. Until we wait for some evidence to surface, the pieces of the story remain as frozen in time as the crew of the Octavius. Thank you for delving into the shadows with me today, and I hope your own is always behind you.